Welcome to Get Better Naturally. I'm your host, Jason Atkinson, Bachelor of Science in Education, Natural and Life Sciences, health coach, and nutritionist. To find out more, visit getbetternaturally.wordpress.com. You can also find me on Instagram or Facebook at Get Better Naturally. So today we're going to be talking about how to eat for maximum fat loss. There's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of misinformation out there. People have gotten so mixed up about how to eat right. Long-term sustainability for maximum health, energy, strength, all that comes from having a few simple rules that you can remember and adhere to. I like to use my 3 keys that I call lean it up, clean it up, green it up. That's easy enough to remember, and it gives you a visual representation of what you should be eating, what it looks like. So let's run through those real quick, and I'll tell you how those correspond to the 3 main macronutrients. So 3 macronutrients, of course: protein, carbohydrate, and fat. Everybody knows that. So first key, lean it up. That stands for protein. The word protein literally means of primary importance. So that's the main nutrient that we need to be getting from food. That's used in cell turnover of all types. That's used for building, rebuilding, muscle tissue, bone tissue, brain tissue, skin cells. Every type of cell in your body is going to rely on that raw material for building or rebuilding, or in the case of muscle tissue, for preserving lean muscle tissue. So getting an adequate amount is very important. Now, how to quantify that, that's where it gets a little confusing. U.S. dietary guidelines are low for protein because those are basically the minimum amount you need to prevent muscle wasting or disease. Dietary recommendations say, as low as 15 to 20% of your overall diet. A lot of people like to quantify that in grams or percentages. I've always said you don't really need a scientific calculator to know how to eat right, but just use some common sense. For me personally, I'm looking for about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per day. That's been the standard with athletes and physique competitors, bodybuilders of all types for decades now. And it's easy to remember. So just take your body weight and shoot for about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per day. You can go slightly under or over depending on your activity level. I don't make general recommendations for the public, but that's what I do, and that's what I've found that works best. So for me, about 180 grams of protein per day is what I'm looking for. I also try to get about half of my daily calories coming from protein. So simple math on that: if someone's 200 pounds, they're looking for about 200 grams of protein. That's going to be 200 times 4 calories per gram is 800, and that's about half of 1600, which is a deficit. 1600 calories for 200-pound individual is a deficit. So, built into that formula equation is automatically putting you in a calorie deficit, which is slightly less energy coming in than you have expending each day through activity, BMR, per day. So that's all geared around weight loss. Basically, this is a Monday through Friday plan, or Sunday through Thursday, however you want to do your regular eating. Because on the weekends, I'm a big fan of the cheat day, refeed, refuel type meal, and I'll get to that in a minute. But back to what we were talking about. First key being lean it up, or protein. Okay. Second is clean it up. What that stands for is getting all of the refined and processed ingredients out of the diet. Most of those are going to be carbohydrate, but some of it is, types of fats like omega-6s from refined processed grain oils, seed oils, and things like that are really harmful for us. But most of it does come from carbohydrate type foods. Again, added sugars, corn syrup, flour. All of those things are really the problem when it comes to overweight obesity epidemic in America. It's not really necessary to count or quantify grams and percentages of everything. If you would just do that step alone and just clean it up and get all the garbage posing as food out of your diet, probably would make a major difference in the way you look, feel, and perform every single day. So carbohydrate now is important, But most of the carbohydrates, the way I'm doing it, at least during the week, they're not coming from starchy foods. Maybe the occasional starch like a potato or something along those lines. I'm pretty much grain-free at all times during the week anyway. And some of the carbohydrates can come from fruits in the diet, but the majority of those are going to come from vegetables, which leads us to the third key, and that is green it up. So what we're talking about here is just including more vegetables to get the micronutrients, fiber that we need, things like that, phytonutrients that we need, substances that haven't even been classified yet, but we know that they're helpful for maintaining good health over a lifetime. Plus, being that they take up a lot of space in the stomach, they're going to make you feel fuller for longer, so you will tend to crave less of the refined and processed junk that is really the hallmark of overweight and obesity. So, when it comes to thinking like an athlete, follow those three keys, because athletes, for the most part, they're not looking at food as entertainment. That's not to say that we don't enjoy our food, but we're not looking at solely the entertainment or the feel-good factor, if you will. What we're looking for is the things that we really need in abundance, and that is lean protein, fiber, micronutrients, and essential fatty acids like omegas. Now, those are the type of fats, which that got left out of the lean it up, clean it up, green it up deal. But look at it this way. Fats are normally contained in some of your protein sources, like eggs, egg yolks, different cuts of meat, for example, fish, turkey, other poultry, some cheeses, things like that. They contain fats automatically. Also, some of your plant sources are going to have fats. So healthy fats are going to be the monounsaturated ones like avocados, olives, almonds, other tree nuts, butter. It's not really necessary to add fat to everything in order to burn fat. There's another big misconception that's going on right now, thanks to the ketogenic craze, is the idea that consuming more fat will help your body burn more body fat. It's not really true. It's actually displacing the processed carbohydrates and refined oils that I mentioned earlier in the diet is what causes an overall reduction in calories, and that's what will in fact cause your body to accelerate burning fat as fuel. So that's the 3 tips for today. And if you like this channel, go ahead and subscribe. Please share a link through your social media. I would really appreciate that, and I will talk to you soon.